Hello, welcome back to Seek and Surrender. I'm Kay.
I'm Roslyn. Welcome back. We're so glad you're back.
hmm Today we're going to be talking about rebranding and what that looks like. So, energetic rebranding, and also like rebranding of your, like how you show up in your career or rebranding of even your business.
Yeah. And even too, just like your personal day to day life, if you're feeling like it's time for a little bit of shaking up, we're
hmm
going to talk about that.
Yeah. And it's perfect timing too, like moving into the last month of the year and just this little last stretch, and kind of getting a head start on setting some of these intentions.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like all of a sudden November was over,
Mhm.
December is here. And
Yeah.
it was like, what in the world just happened?
So fast.
And I feel like this month's gonna be exactly the same. I mean, it's already going by so fast, and all of a sudden, we're gonna already be in 2026,
Yeah, wild.
feeling all of that new year, new you, new year,
Mhm.
new everything, getting overwhelmed by all the, resolution things that people post about and all that fun
Yeah.
stuff, which I'm sure we'll talk about later,
Mhm.
but yeah, what a time.
Yeah. So I guess we can kinda check in, like, with ourselves and just kind of our personal stories right now of, like, how we feel kind of, um, where we're at, like, how we show up either in business or work and personally or spiritually, and kinda how we want to rebrand that with for the new year and ongoing.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So for me right now, um, I do my own thing independently, my own business, with media. And right now I feel steady and I feel comfortable. I feel safe. And I was raised in a household where we were taught that those were kind of the things that were important when it comes to work. However, I feel like when I'm comfortable, it's kinda almost, like, stagnant, and I'm not pushing myself, and I'm not taking risks. So for me, I wanna take bigger risks, um, and I want my wins to be bigger, right? And, of course, they're gonna be calculated risks, but, um, I just wanna get more outside of my comfort zone. I want things to feel more fun, exciting, um, and I wanna make more money than I ever have, and I know I will and I can. I just, and for reference, like, I quit my job of 7 years, a few years ago to do my own thing and pursue my own business and everything, and I've kind of been playing it safe, if I'm being honest with myself. But I think I just needed to prove to myself that I could do it and that it was possible, and now that I've kind of done that in a comfortable way, I'm ready to kind of scale and, um, just, like, go big or go home kinda thing, and I feel like I'm still young enough to be able to kinda take that risk and do that. Oh, and actually this morning I heard something like, "You have to slow down to speed up," and it makes a lot of sense. It's like, right now I feel like I'm going, going, and going, and just kinda playing catch up with a lot of things, but I feel like when you slow down and say no to things and give yourself that space, you give yourself the space and the capacity to, like, bring in more and call in more.
Mhm.
Um, so I think that's what I wanna do right now is just, like, slow down and kinda, like, get my bearings and think about, what's next for me, and this episode is kinda perfect for that. Even just, like, talking through this now is helpful for me, but, like, clearing things and
Mhm.
really setting up my space in a way that I can invite new things to come.
Yeah. I love the way that you explained that because I think it is so true that you can't just keep going at a pace that's like going to be unattainable long term. Like, and then of course, you're never going to be able to like fully sit with yourself and realize, like, is this what I want? Because you're just going to be
Mhm.
chasing something you'll never reach. So,
Yes.
yeah, I think that's awesome to say that you really do have to start saying no, start kind of putting the brakes on if you're getting the feeling that things need to shift and change. Um, I know for me personally, um, this year has been a lot of learning about how I want to express in the world, how I want to be both on a personal level and within both my day job and my energetic Reiki and all of that job.
Mhm.
Um, and I feel like there's a, I, there's a version of myself that's kind of, not that it was never there, but it's like there's a comfort level to being more fully in the version of myself that I've come to kind of step into this year. And then that might too be just like the fact of, getting older and becoming more familiar with who you are and what you want to be doing and, you know, for you individually, not what you're told you should do or, what you're expected to do from like family and responsibilities and everything like that. So yeah, for me, the rebrand is to just continue in this path of authenticity and like you said, like pushing outside of the comfort zone. And I have some creative ideas that I'm kind of starting to actually create. Like it's a thought, but it's like coming out in designing something or thinking through something. So yeah, I just want to stay in the creative flow and make sure that I'm, like you said, not getting too comfortable with being okay with it. "Oh, I'm good with me right now." It's like, "No, keep going, push it."
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Um, I feel like when it comes to, like, energetic rebranding, for me, it's, like, energetically matching the energy of who I wanna become, right? It's like, who do I have to be to get everything I wanna manifest? And for me, that's being disciplined, being in shape, being steady in my practice, and being more intuitive.
Mhm,
And I think, success in, like, spiritual practice for me, like, a while ago meant, like, meditating every day and being consistent with that, but I feel like there's so much more to it than that, so I want success for me moving forward, like, this year to look a lot different, and this year I learned a lot about how valuable community is in that realm,
mhm,
um, like, even being on this podcast and being part of this collective with Awakening Airwaves, I've learned so much from all these wonderful people,
mhm.
uh, and the experience and the perspective. So community is huge. Um, and then also like continuing to take classes and learning. Um, it's not like for me, I'm certified in Reiki, but it doesn't have to stop with the certification, right? Like it's a lifelong kind of learning process, right? So
Mhm.
just continuing to learn and stretch myself and put myself out there, I think that's gonna be my success, like, metric as far as, like, spiritual stuff, like, keep being uncomfortable, like, being okay with being uncomfortable and, like, stretching myself in that way.
Yeah, definitely. I think too with, like, where we are in the year, just in terms of, like, the winter months, the darker days, it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, we're being forced to be a bit uncomfortable with
Yeah.
in the darkness, seeing the things that we sometimes wanna put to the side and yeah, prepping us for the light to come.
Yeah. Um, how about you? Like, what does it mean to, like, spiritually kinda rebrand?
Um, I think it's kind of what you said in terms of not shying away from the discomfort, but at the same time, it's like just being open to what comes up and like what needs to be viewed. And I think, and we're going to kind of talk about this in a little bit too, but when you feel off, You know when you feel like there is a heaviness or there's something that's just not sitting right within you. Our body does such a good job of somehow putting a feeling into like an emotional feeling into like a physical feeling too.
Mhm.
And so I think it's just being open to seeing that, like not getting stuck in the day-to-day routine to the point where you're not feeling or seeing when things are off. So for me, it's like this spiritual rebrand is making sure that my awareness is open to when things feel off so that I can address it and sit with it and be okay with changing how I'm approaching either myself or a situation or, my own spiritual practice. I think um in a tangible way, it's kind of like what tools do you use in your spiritual practice every day? And sometimes those change and sometimes you're surprised by how that changes or change up how you do your meditation. But I think just going with what feels like it's getting you to the most authentic place, but also, like you said, like having those goals of what you want it to look and feel like is really important.
Yeah. Mm.
And I've kind of been through cycles of that this year of just allowing adjustment. And like the benefits of that is just incredible rather than staying in who you think you need to be.
Yeah, exactly. I think too, like, kind of like roles that you've kind of outgrown too, and
Mhm.
speaking on that, just like and we're gonna kinda go back and forth, from, like, rebranding, like, literally and also spiritually,
Mhm.
but going back to, like, the business and career side, like, for me, an example of kind of a role that I've outgrown, and that's an example too of, like, the heaviness, right?
Mhm.
Um, is, like, putting in endless hours, right, into projects, and, like, trading my time for money, right? And now I'm kind of, like, at a point where it's more important for me to, like, build systems and not be, like, the workhorse behind a lot of projects. So being more of, like, a teacher or a mentor, I feel like my value personally is tied more to my experience now than my actual work, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
So I kinda wanna step into a new role from going from, like, um, project creator to, like, teacher.
Mm.
So
That's awesome.
mhm,
As you kind of go through your personal journey and your like business and energetic journey,
mhm,
there are these roles that you take on, whether imposed by, how you grow up or the environments that you're in or anything like that. And when you feel like you kind of have these versions of yourself or roles that you stay connected to, they really do manifest in a lot of different ways. And sometimes they can become like an attachment or a story or a chord energetically that influences how you move forward. So, I know we kind of talked about similar things when we had our the Reiki class summit, which was awesome. And, hi to everybody that was in the class that's here watching. It's great to see you and meet you. Um, but a lot of people were really surprised to think about chords attached to like business or themselves in a business sense.
mhm.
Um, but yeah, we can create chords and attachments out of really any situation. And so it's so important when we start to sense that something is stuck or that there's like a feedback loop that is not beneficial to really work with that energy and go through the process of cleansing and releasing. So, like all these things that we've talked about that we have as goals to move forward into can really happen once our kind of personal channels and energetic channels and connected to our business channels are all cleared so that this energy can move and really be in its like full force and full nature. So at the end of this episode, we'll leave you all with a meditation that you're welcome to do that will kind of walk you through some releasing of things similar to that. But yeah, so just um, recognizing that in many ways and in many areas of our lives, we can kind of get stuck in these roles that create, habits and just energy loops that keep us from all the things that we want to accomplish.
Yeah, that's a great point that you just made, and I think, like you were talking about in the beginning, like, that whole conversation of, like, New Year's resolutions and goal setting that comes along naturally with this time of year. I feel like that's a big part that's missing, in that story is the releasing that is necessary, before you kinda take on all of those goals and new identities. It's like shedding and releasing,
Mhm.
making room and space, so I'm excited for that meditation.
Yeah. And I'm thinking too, with the New Year's resolutions, you almost wonder if people can't stick to them because they never really made room for them in the first place.
Mhm.
We like have all these goals of like, even just like the classic ones
Yeah,
of like,
just drop
I'm
your
gonna,
mic right there.
yeah, I'm gonna eat healthier. I'm gonna, work out more. I'm
Right.
gonna do all these things. But like, did you really make the room to accomplish that? Did you set yourself up to like really be able to do it? So,
Preach, Rosalind.
preaching.
That's so
Do I do
true.
this perfectly? No, but we can all hope.
Right. Yeah, that's a huge missing part. Even for myself, sometimes I get caught up in manifesting, like, reinventing, and it's like, well, did you, like, release? Did you,
Mhm.
factory reset almost, So
Yeah. Clear it out.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I hope people enjoy that meditation because it's important. I think and I don't want people to get I think there's like this connotation with like cords and attachments sometimes when they seem kind of scary, I
Mhm.
guess, or intimidating and they seem like this kind of like I don't know, intimidating thing. But really it's not. It's just kind of like what we talked about earlier. Like it's just this awareness that something is creating energy or like a blockage in a way that it shouldn't. And the act of releasing it can actually be pretty simple. And then just acknowledging it and working with it. Maybe you journal, maybe just kind of remember what you did within the meditation. Energy starts to move and these things clear. And it's just really, really powerful and helpful.
Yeah, and also remembering, like, not having guilt or shame around, like, having all these chords. It's like
Mhm.
every chord you connect with was for a purpose at one point, So those old
Yeah.
roles or identities that you used to survive or used to find your level of success or your version of success at one point was
Mhm.
necessary, but of course you grow and uh, things look different. So it's just like stuff that's taken up space.
Yeah. Yeah, and being gentle with yourself and knowing that, there's you have to kind of like respect the process. You're never going to be the same person twice, and so on a personal level, of course you're always changing, but then yeah, in a career focused realm or if you own your own business, of course it's never going to stay exactly the same and you're going to get those feelings of wanting to shift and change and kind of grow and push yourself outside of what it looks like. And I would hope that people lean into the excitement of that rather than like the anxiety of that
Mhm.
or the nervousness of that or the fear of like, well, oh gosh, if I change it, like, what's it? Am I sure that it's going to be as successful as it is now? Or am I sure that, you know, everything will work out the way that I hope that it will? Um, so I would just say lean into it, explore,
Mhm.
play with it. I
Yeah.
think you'll be surprised.
Yeah, and I think too, like, just to speak on the numerology and astrology of, like, what we're transitioning into, I by no means am an expert in either, but I kinda know just generally that, we're moving from a 9 year to a 1 year, right? So from the snake to the horse and kind of what that means energetically. If you want to kind of touch on that, Rosalind.
Yeah, so the 9 year, it's all about, the end of a cycle, the closing of a chapter. It's completion, it's integration. It's like this idea of just rounding things out in a way. And so I think a lot of people this year, um maybe we're feeling those themes of things coming to an end, or um and maybe not in like a super cut off kind of way, but more so like, oh, this season of my life is shifting, or this way that I'm seeing the world is shifting, or I'm feeling like, things in my mental space are kind of changing. Um, and I think collectively people have really been feeling this need for ending in certain ways.
Yeah.
Some things are needing to end. And then the year one. So this is all about kind of like this inspired beginning. It's like this, if you just think of the way that the number one looks, it's that alignment. It's connecting the above and the below, the cosmic and the earthly realms. It's um inspiration and kind of newness. So I think it's going to be a really exciting year for a lot of people, and knowing that like the world as a whole is going through this, I think we can see some really interesting things happening externally outside of our little bubbles too. So it's going to be really, really powerful, I think.
Yeah, and even the symbolism of it being like the year of the horse, like what that looks like a wild horse running, it's
Hmm.
like fun, exhilarating, like taking risks, being bold momentum. And yeah, I think
Momentum's a
there's gonna be
great
a lot
word
of good
for it.
luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the snake being like the shedding of the skin, and
Yeah, I totally felt that.
getting down on the ground and in the depths of like you and your grounded state and everything. Like, yeah, the
Mhm.
symbolism and the way it's just so fun.
Mhm. Yeah, and, we have some cards to kind of help kinda
Yes, we
illustrate
do.
all of these themes too.
Yes, we do. Um, 3 cards, of course, per usual. We picked some that we just felt kind of could reach you at different stages of like this evaluation. So I will hold these up as we always do. I'm not going to drop them. So we will do, I always forget like which way to go, 1, 2, and 3. So 1, 2 in the middle, and 3. If you're listening only, of course, just kind of sit with it, take a couple breaths, whatever number stands out to you, and we will begin. So card number 1 is going to be the threshold card, which I'm also realizing it's the number 10, which comes down to the number 1.
Mm.
So very applicable.
Ah.
Um, but yes, the threshold card. So in this card, we see the 4 fixed signs represented here. We see the letters LAST, which can be last. It can be salt, which is purifying, and kind of like this transformative sort of energy. And then there's this beautiful like spiral in the middle that always just makes me think of the representation of like going inward and really reviewing and sitting with your elements, and just, I guess, asking the questions of what's authentic and what's not. What am I moving out of and stepping into, and what do I want that to look like? So a lot of like what we talked about. So um yeah, just this opportunity for kind of like this purification moment of what needs to be released. What comes up for you with that card?
Yeah, even just the word threshold, like you said, the
Mhm.
opportunity to just, like, walk through a new door and have a
Yeah.
new experience. Yeah, it's crazy that that was a number 1 card too.
I know. Have
Yeah.
fun.
It totally
But
represents, though,
so
everything.
Totally,
that we've been
yeah.
talking about.
It's perfect.
Mhm.
So if you chose the number 1 card, if you chose threshold, maybe just give yourself some more time. We're still in the winter months. We're not at the solstice just yet. Like, we're still in the darker days, and it's not like we're gonna rush out of that once we hit the new year. It's a gradual thing. So if you need more time to kind of review and still kind of sit with, the things that need to be purified, you have the opportunity to do that. All right, moving on to card number 2, we have the embodiment card, the number 7 card. Um, this is this beautiful image of this man on his knees with the world behind him. He's got his arms up and this like these cosmic stars like above and below him. And what's really interesting about this illustration is the parts of him that are in color and like his feet are kind of still in the world and they've lost their color. I always get really drawn to that. Um, but yeah, just this kind of card that really calls upon your um it's related to your oh my gosh, your crown chakra. I'm like, what's the one on the top of your head? My brain just had a total brain fart. Um, but yeah, so your crown chakra, your purpose, your connection to the divine, but also with the world behind them, it's kind of this balance, right? And kind of like even what we were talking about of business and spiritual, like
Mhm.
you're always walking between the worlds of being divine and being of the world. So, um, yeah, this card is just a really neat representation of embodying who you are, your authenticity, and your purpose. But yeah, how about you, Kay?
Yeah, I do. I feel like for this card, like, for me, it's like when you do walk in your authenticity, it's like
Hmm.
you have so much support
Hmm.
and so much, like, guidance, right? So, I think there's just, like I keep wanting to say luck, but it's just, like, support, and you're so
Hmm.
held in that light. So, it's like, if you wanna take those risks and walk through that new door, like, and you're doing it authentically, you're gonna be very supported.
Yeah, for sure. So if you pulled this one, maybe it's time to kind of embody and really hold the things that you want in how you stand in the world and move into those things that make you feel authentic and in your purpose. And the last card, number 3, oh my gosh, you're gonna love this, is the altar card, the number 12, which comes down to a 3. So let's just talk about that. So cool. Um, but yes, in this card, we see a figure all in red. They're kind of sitting in a meditative pose, and they have this like wooden altar on a river, and it has 3 candles. And it's just this beautiful. And actually, it's at night. We see the moon behind. So, also just a beautifully reflective for this time of year as well. And for me, whenever I draw this card, I'm really always pulled to think about um, truly being in your grounded, rooted state when you go into these energetic, kind of like meditative, reflective moments, like the importance of needing to be grounded. But then also, I always view this card as such a sacred moment of self reflection
Mhm.
of what needs to be placed on the altar, what needs to be um, almost like in gratitude given up to
Mhm.
be not always maybe like purified, but at least focused on, I guess. Um, and the water, of course, can always relate to your intuition and your emotions. And so it might be related to that, or maybe there's some emotions that are coming up that are keeping you from this transition of or rebranding that you're trying to accomplish. But anything that comes up that you think of for UK?
Yeah, that was really well said, and I love that you used the word sacred. That was the first word that came to my mind too. It's like sacred intentions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So really getting to the heart of really what you want, and then also like using that fire and letting things go and making space.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, definitely.
Yeah. The flames of the candles are very transformative too.
Mhm.
For sure. And the moon kind of back there, like if like the traditional kind of look at the moon is like sometimes hidden energies too.
Mhm.
So kind of like taking that sacred pause to look at what could be hidden
Yeah.
that needs to be placed on the altar as well. So if you pulled that, maybe take some time to really sit in that uh sacred state of reflection and without judgment and without, you know, forcing or trying to find a certain answer. You give yourself some time to really sit and see what comes up that needs to be placed on the altar. So, those are our cards this month.
Mhm.
Woohoo.
All very appropriate, like
Yes.
almost perfect.
I know. Are we
Takeaways.
closing?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's wrap it up. Give some takeaways. I think just even after like looking at that altar card, like me personally, I've been called so deeply. I haven't had the time. And this goes into like making the space and saying no, slowing down. But I've been called to like go grab my journal and like go sit on the beach and just write or just
Mm,
journal or go to a park or something, you know. Like I've been so called to do that, like just tap into my heart, ground and like see what comes up, you know, and
mhm,
just kind of start slowly and not putting so much pressure on what it is that I want. Um, but just making sure that it's grounded really in what's authentic for me.
mhm.
So I would say, yeah, just taking the time to slow down to speed up.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Takeaways for me, I think, are really going to be not getting ahead of myself in terms of like where we are in the season.
Mm,
So, yes, we're coming to the end of the year. Yes, there are things that I hope to see kind of shift and change and rebrand in a way. But kind of like you said, slowing down and making sure that I'm really looking at everything that needs to be looked at. And yeah, that altar card is really speaking to me too of like the sacred placing of what needs to be placed.
mhm.
So, yeah, I think don't rush. I know the new year is around the corner and people are going to be like, I'm going to lose this much weight by this date. It's like, it's okay if you don't know what you want your resolution to be yet. All good. All good. Just take it easy and do what feels right. And you are supported.
Yeah, and then the steam kinda blows off after, like, February, so it's
Right.
like,
The
do
gym
something
gets empty
sustainable,
again.
you know? Right.
Yeah, for sure.
We will leave you with this beautiful meditation, it's really worth, listening and kind of, like, letting yourself get into it, so yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
Yes, we'll see you next time. Listen on through, journal anything that comes up, and let us know what comes up for you. Give us, write us some comments and all the
Mhm.
good stuff. And we'll see you all next time. Take a minute to notice how you're sitting. Get yourself into a comfortable position where your feet are either on the floor or crossed beneath you. Your back is straight and comfortably supported, and your tailbone isn't tucked. Take a few breaths to see how your body responds to each inhale and exhale. Inhaling and expanding, exhaling and releasing. Inhaling and expanding, exhaling and releasing in a slow, gentle pattern. And as you breathe with your eyes closed, look above your head. You see a beautiful golden light floating above your head. And you set the intention that this light is healing, nourishing, cleansing, and loving. This light moves down through the top of the head and gently drifts down the body, slowly, calmly, and gently. It flows down the chest, down the torso, down the hips, and down each leg to the feet. It then comes back up the legs, flowing gently up the body, through the hips, through the stomach, through the lungs, the heart, the throat, up through the head, the mind, the crown. And as you breathe, it gently moves again, going at your own pace. As the light moves up and down the body, everywhere the light touches, it cleanses, clears, and purifies your energy. It nourishes the body, the cells, as well as the emotions and the mind, just gently flowing through the body. And you become very tuned in to how you feel. And with every exhale, you relax deeper. No tension, no forcing, just flowing with the light. And on your next inhale, the light pauses near your heart chakra at the center of your chest, expanding, contracting, helping the energy move. And on your next exhale, the light moves down to the sacral chakra, the area behind the navel, and it expands and it contracts, allowing energy to move. And on your next exhale, the light travels up into the mind, into the headspace, and there it expands and contracts, allowing the energy to move. And as you continue to breathe, you see the light remain in each of these three areas, filling your entire body from those energy sources with the beautiful golden light. as you continue to breathe, you start to scan the body. You are easily able to see any area where a cord may be connected. It may be small, it may be large, but when you sense it, pause and breathe into it. And just ask, what is this connected to? And maybe an answer comes, and maybe one doesn't. But in your intention and awareness, whether conscious or unconsciously connected, you acknowledge the cord. And on your next breath, you see yourself gently releasing the cord from your body. It releases gently from the root, and you see it floating in front of you as beautiful golden light dissolves the cord and releases the energy to be transmuted into higher vibration. And where the cord was attached, just breathe beautiful golden light to heal the space, smoothing it so that you can't even tell that something was connected. And take a few more breaths to observe any other cords that may be present, and release them in the same way, allowing the beautiful golden light to dissolve them and heal your body. And with your next breath, scan the body again, but this time being aware of any attachments, stories, or fixations that may be holding you back. These may be statements of lack. These may be expectations we hold of ourselves or others. Whatever it may be, acknowledge it and how it resides within your energetic body. And on your next breath, imagine this attachment or story as a small object, whatever easily comes to the mind. And see yourself gently taking hold of that object and holding it out in front of you. And as you breathe, acknowledge it and thank it for the lesson it was trying to teach you, or the message it was trying to clarify for you of what you need to be conscious of. And with your next breath, raise the object above you and let it float out of your hand into the cosmos, where it too is dissolved by golden light, so that it may transmute into higher vibrations, no longer keeping hold of you as it did. And take a few more breaths just to acknowledge any other attachments or fixations or stories that also need to be released. Anything that may be holding you back from fully expressing in your authenticity and confidence. Release any remaining objects into the cosmos to be transformed. And with your next few breaths, breathe again back into your heart space, giving yourself compassion and love for what you acknowledged. And with your eyes closed, look above you once again to see that beautiful golden light pulsing above your head. And in this light, you write your name. And with your intention, you call back all your energy you may have left elsewhere throughout your day, your week. Any energy you left with others in certain places, call it all back to you. To the beautiful light pulsing above your head. And it flows easily and without effort or force. And you feel confident that you've called it all back. And with your next exhale, start to see that beautiful light slowly drift like golden honey down the top of your head, warm, gentle, all of your energy flowing through you. And it slowly and beautifully drifts down the back of your head, the front of your face, down your neck, over your shoulders, down your arms to your fingertips. It warmly flows down the front of your chest and down your back, over your stomach, over your hips, flowing gently down the legs, the knees, the feet. Every cell of your being taking in the energy of who you are in your authenticity and your confidence, in your own unique expression of your light. And you look at your body and you are glowing, beautiful, golden, light-filled, fully healed, expressing as who you are, with no doubt of how you want to be in this world, acknowledging the journey, the learning experiences, and every step along the path with love and appreciation and gratitude. And as that light shines from within, you thank yourself for the effort to acknowledge what needs to be moved and released. And with your next exhale, imagine your energy flowing down to your root, the base of your spine, and into your legs, grounding the body where you sit, breathing and expanding into the base of your body, grounding and solidifying your energy. Take a few more breaths. And when you're ready, take note of anything that may have come up for you and return when you're ready.